welcome to my first video. My name's Rob, and in my first video, I'm going to be talking about predicting the UFC White House card 1 year in advance. Now, I'm probably not going to have any of these fights correct. These are obviously way too early of a prediction, but I'm just doing this for fun, just to see how this is going to go. We can later on see maybe in 6 months or in that year. Obviously, this is a year away, so in that year time frame, we can see how right I actually was and how close I was to actually getting any of these fights right. This card is obviously huge, so and I completely believe that this card is actually happening. With how Dana is so enamored with Trump and always bringing him to the fights and whatnot, so I would guarantee that this card is actually going to happen. I know it sounds insane, but he was even talking about the Sphere card. I think yesterday at the press conference and saying that that card was way harder to actually make than the White House card and had way more complications. So I would guarantee that this card is going to happen. So yeah, let me get into the reasons for the fighters being on the White House card and why they're on the card. First up, I have an American in each fight. I believe in each fight I have an American. This is obviously the card for Independence Day, 250 years, right? So I would guarantee that they try to put an American in each fight, just like they did at UFC Noche. I believe maybe there was like one fight that didn't have a Mexican, but I believe it was like, yeah, I think it was like every fight besides the main event had a Mexican fighter. So I would guarantee that they're gonna have an American in each fight, or at least try to. Um, maybe in the co-main they can put together a fight that doesn't have an American, but we'll see. Also, they have to be a big star. I mean, literally everyone is talking about this card. It's like every single post you see about the UFC is pretty much about this card. All the casual fans are watching this. It's going to be seen around the world. Um, the most watched card of all time. I would guarantee that. It's going to be bigger than Khabib McGregor. So the third reasoning is they have to be good American fighters. So America can have a good record. That's obviously going to be important at the end of the night. There are a lot of American fighters in the UFC that just aren't good, but I try to make a point to actually put good American fighters on there. And they also have to be a fun fighter. They're not going to try to get wrestlers on this card for the most part. I think they're going to try to get, guys that bring the action, guys that Trump likes, and he usually likes those guys that actually do bring the action. So yeah, those are the reasonings for why I have these fighters on the card. Let's get into the main event of UFC White House. I don't know, maybe they'll call it UFC Independence Day. I feel like it's going to be UFC Independence Day if they don't call it UFC White House. I think it'll be UFC Independence Day. But let's get into the main event. This one's kind of obvious. It's the fight that we've been talking about for like, I don't know, year and a half now. John Jones against Tom Aspinall, right? Tom Aspinall has been in for this fight for a long time now. He's been trying to get this fight, and he's been agreeing to it. I mean, in multiple instances now. This one's been all on Jones. He just ducked Tom. Obviously, he went and retired, right? But John does not seem like he's fully done. He clearly still wants attention. He clearly still wants to be in the spotlight. And yeah, in this fight, I have him coming out of retirement to fight Tom Aspinall in the main event. He keeps tweeting about, wanting to fight for America, wanting to be on this Independence Day card. So yeah, let's be optimistic, and hope it happens. Um, I don't know if I fully believe him. I'm not gonna get my hopes up on this. This is just a hot take that this fight is gonna be the main event. Obviously, very optimistic about this, but not very optimistic about this, but hopeful. By this point, we would hope Tom has at least fought and beaten Cyril Gahn. Maybe even fought a second time in these 12 months, right? Maybe he beat someone like, Jalton Almeida's fighting Volkov, so maybe Almeida wins. He fights Almeida in like March, and then he fights Jones in July of next year. which will make this fight even bigger because now Tom's got two title defenses on his record, as undisputed champion, while Jones has been sitting back doing nothing. It's gonna make this fight even bigger. Jones is probably gonna have some dumb tweets about Tom, and yeah, this fight's gonna be gigantic if it actually turns out to be the White House main event. Let's get into the co-main. I have Sean Strickland taking on Khamzat for the middleweight championship, right? So this fight is assuming that Chimaev beats DDP in August, and Strickland. I'm assuming he gets matched up with Adesanya. Um, and if he wins that, I think he'll get another title shot if Chimaev wins. This could also happen if Chimaev loses against DDP and Strickland beats someone like a Fluffy or even loses his next fight. I don't know. But I just feel like this fight's going to happen, a Russian against American, right in the White House lawn. Trump clapping his hands, rooting for Sean Strickland. And I just feel like it's going to happen. I don't know why. This fight just screams White House to me. Maybe it won't be for a championship. Maybe it'll be just on the main card, lower on the main card. Um, but I mean, who doesn't want to see Khamzat Chimaev fight? First off, Strickland's a very boring fighter. I'll die on that hill. I never liked him as a fighter. Very entertaining guy, but not a fun fighter at all. Um, yeah, I think if Chimaev wins, this is for the middleweight championship. Obviously, this is an early projection, so we don't know who Strickland's going to fight by then. For Chimaev, he's probably not fighting until, from August to July. This guy's not active at all. What was his last fight? In October. So it's going to be 10 months since he last fought for DDP, from Whitaker to DDP, right? So I assume if he beats DDP, he's not going to fight again until this White House card. So yeah, this is the matchup I have for the co-main event. This fight would obviously be insanely big. Any Hamzat fight is big. He's one of the biggest stars in the UFC, and you have the most American guy in Sean Strickland fighting him. So yeah, this fight would be insane. This fight is definitely co-main event caliber. It could even be the main event, honestly. If Strickland goes on and wins against someone like Adesanya, maybe he knocks him out. I doubt he would ever knock out Adesanya, but hey, he almost caught him in that. He almost finished him in the first round, actually, of their first fight. So you never know. You never know. But yeah, if Strickland gets a big win, Hamza wins from DDP. This fight is gigantic. Let's get into the third fight. This one's a layup. This one's a layup. We have our only American champion, Kayla Harrison, against the returning Amanda Nunes. I hope they wait for this fight to happen at the White House. This fight is absolutely gigantic, and it deserves to be on the White House card, 100% on the main card. And yeah, this would be Kayla's first title defense. This is still in another year, so she would have to sit out a long time. But I think it's worth it. You get on the biggest card of all time. You fight the GOAT, Amanda Nunes, and yeah, I just think it's worth it. Nunes is back in the testing pool. She's already been tested, so she's 100% coming back. That's a guarantee. And yeah, this fight is huge. This is our only American champion, so Kayla has to be on this card. It's just a complete layup for her to be on the card. So yeah, and also I think this fight is actually interesting. I don't know who wins. I really don't know who wins. I don't have a prediction right now. So yeah, I love this fight. This is as good as women's MMA is going to get. Let's get into the fourth fight. Justin Gaethje taking on Dan Hooker at lightweight. Gaethje has to be on this card. One of our best American fighters. Probably the most entertaining American fighter right now that Dustin Poirier is gone. Justin Gaethje is easily the most entertaining American fighter. Maybe the most entertaining UFC fighter ever, honestly. You could make a case for that. So, yeah, this fight is another layup. I mean, this is just a war. This fight was scheduled for that card in March, I believe UFC 313, where Hooker had to pull out with a hand injury. So this fight is now going to happen at the White House, is what I'm predicting, right? As long as this fight doesn't happen earlier, I feel like Gaethje's going to be on the card. And this should be the fight because it's just gonna be a banger. Like this fight's insane. This is gonna be a top five fight of the year, just automatically. Um, so yeah, I think this is another guy that has to be on the card. Gaethje's one of the best American fighters, not only one of the most exciting, but actually one of our best American fighters. And he just has to be on the card. Has to be. So yeah, as long as this fight doesn't happen earlier, I feel like Gaethje's gonna get booked for the end of this year, earlier, early in 2026 possibly. So I don't know how this fight is going to happen. Maybe Hooker beats someone and Gaethje beats someone, and then they match them up, or maybe Gaethje loses to someone and Hooker beats like a Dariush or something, and then they rebook this fight from UFC 313. So that's what I'm hoping for. This is obviously these are all obviously probably not going to happen. This is a year and ahead. But yeah, this is my guess. Let's get on to the fifth fight on the main card. This one's interesting. Sean Brady against Shavkat Rakhmonov. So Sean Brady is not the most entertaining fighter. I think we can all agree on that. I love Sean Brady personally. I think he's extremely dominant. I think his grappling is actually entertaining to watch because he's always hunting for submissions, always hunting for ground and pound. And he's also one of our best American fighters. I believe he's the number one ranked welterweight. And I have him taking on Shavkat, not Hamzat, Shavkat in the main card. So yeah, my reasoning for this was I just honestly I couldn't find another American contender at the top to have an entertaining fight. Like Shavkat's a big name over there in Kyrgyzstan. So yeah, this one would be big. This one would be big. Obviously, number one contenders fight. Maybe it's for the belt. I don't know. Maybe it is for the belt. Maybe Sean Brady goes out there and beats, Islam or JDM. Like it's just too hard to tell. This is why this is fun. It's a 1 year out projection. We'll see what happens. I have no clue what's gonna happen. Maybe this is for the belt. Maybe Shavkat has the belt and Sean Brady's challenging. Maybe Shavkat Islam or JDM beats Islam and Shavkat beats JDM somehow. I don't see that happening. I think Shavkat's the most overrated fighter in the UFC right now. So I don't see that happening, but this is an insane fight, right? This is a uh, headliner for a UFC fight night anywhere. So this is like a UFC Baku main event right here. UFC Abu Dhabi main event. So that's the main card. Obviously, this main card is insane. I doubt they stack it up this much, but they should absolutely stack it up way more than UFC Noche. UFC Noche was a solid card. But who was on that main card? Who was on that main card? Ode Osborne? Wasn't Ode Osborne on the main card against Ronaldo Rodriguez? Come on, man. We got to make this card insane. And I think they will. I don't know if they make it to this extent of insane because I got three title fights. They haven't done three title fights since that MSG card. Was that UFC 268, right? Something like that. Was it even three title fights? That wasn't even three title fights. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know when's the last time they did three title fights. It was that no, it was the first card from COVID. It was that 251. That's what it was. Where they did Usman versus Masvidal, Rose Namajunas versus Zhang Weili, and Valentina Shevchenko against Andrade. Pretty sure. I hope I'm right about that. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, this card is insane. I hope they stack it up like this. So some other fights that I put on this card. Wanted to keep that American theme up, right? Michael Chandler against Rafael Fiziev. This is just madness. I had to put Michael Chandler on this card. I had to. Um, you, you just had to. And I put him up against Fiziev in a fight that is another banger. Uh, Next fight, Colby Covington against Carlos Leal. Carlos Leal is an absolute stud. He's fighting, I believe, on this Abu Dhabi card coming up this week against I forget who it's against, but he's gonna win. This guy's a beast, man. This guy's a top 10 welterweight. And I think he's gonna win that fight, maybe win one more. And he's gonna get his shot in the rankings against someone like Colby Covington, who Again, I had to put on this card. I couldn't put Colby on the main card. I could not. Obviously, he's Mr. Trump. He's Mr. Trump. But I could not put him on the main card. He's just way too washed for me to put him on the main card. He'll get on the card. I'd guarantee he gets on the card if he's not cut by then. Hopefully he doesn't take any more fights by then. But he'll be on this card and he'll fight Carlos Leal. Then I have Andre Lima versus Alex Perez. This fight. I was just wanting to put a flyweight fight on there. Andre Lima, I think, is the best prospect at 125, and I think he's a future champion. So I have him rising up in the rankings and fighting top 10 Alex Perez, who's another American. So that's why I have that fight. Then Bo Nickel versus Andre Petroski. I know we're out on Bo Nickel, but come on, man. Trump loves this guy. He's gonna be on the card. They go golfing. Me and Bo, we go way back. We go golfing all the time, all the time. Bo, he's a better fighter than a golfer. Better fighter than golfer. Needs to stick to fighting. Needs to figure out that striking. I think he's gonna be great on this card. I had to put him on here. I put him up against Andre Petroski. So a little American battle here. I don't know if they're gonna be going for this type of thing. If we're gonna have American versus American. But yeah, I think this is the level of competition that Bo Nickel should be getting after that RDR fight where he just completely quit. I think we can say quit. Yeah. Then I got to put my boy Derek Lewis on here against Shamil Gaziev. Lewis has basically fought everyone at heavyweight right now besides Gaziev. I mean, there's like maybe a few more guys, but yeah, I just wanted to get Lewis on the card. He's a national treasure. He is an embodiment of America. So, Black Beast going on the card. And yeah, that is it. That is the whole card for UFC White House, UFC Independence Day. I guarantee it's one of those names. I hope it's Independence Day. I just think that's sick. But that is the card. Thank you for watching.